I think getting better at it involves being reflective and figuring out where you screw up. And, you know, there it is. Pretty clearly, that's where I screw up. Okay, so I ran a race, it kicked my butt, and I had a blast. And now, a week plus out, I want to take a look at the 3 big lessons of race day, including the one mistake that I think made the New York City Half Marathon a bit more painful than it needed to be. So we'll get into that. I'll just tell you though, this race was a blast. This is a race that lives up to the hype. They call it the one to run. I agree, New York Road Runners do a great job with it. And the course is beautiful. It's challenging, but it's beautiful. And it just really was a good time. So the first big takeaway is actually a really positive one. It's just how great it can be to run with a pace group. You know, I do 99.9999999% of my runs solo. So this was a totally new thing for me, and it was great. Ben Delaney, 205 pacer, was phenomenal. He was funny. It was great to have somebody else focusing on the pace. And typically in a race, I'm glancing at my watch every so often. Oh, I'm going too slow. Oh, I'm going too fast. It's like all of this mental processing power is devoted to your pace and where you should be and where you want to be and doing math in your head. It's like, it was so nice to just be able to be like, all right, I stay around this person and I'm fine. So the second big takeaway really goes back to my training. And I don't know about you, but I am not a big fan of discomfort when it comes to racing. I really avoid it. And I think one of my mistakes, not the big mistake that's coming up, but one of my mistakes was that in training, I kind of let myself off the hook during those hard workouts. I did hard workouts, but when they got to a certain point, that painy, like I hate this point, I never settled in. And I think if you want to be good at racing, you have to settle in. You really do. You're training yourself so you can do more before discomfort hits, right? But I think another part of training, especially the hard workouts, speed workouts, the tempo stuff, well, all that stuff, I think those are about making sure that when the discomfort hits, you can handle it. And I've never been great at handling it. And that's just me being honest. Okay, so before I get to the third big mistake, I want to just give a shout out to 3 specific commenters on the channel, viewers of the channel. Chris Moy and Mr. Random nailed my race time, 2:10. I did 2:10:18, they said 2:10, so they nailed it. And then Luke pretty much nailed my actual race, down to when my legs would become Jell-O pudding pops, as he put it. Thank you guys so much for the comments. I wish I had listened more to you than myself on race morning, which is the third big lesson, the big mistake here. Look, I went out on race morning and I got a little frisky. Like I was feeling frisky. I woke up, I was feeling good. My glute wasn't bothering me, my knee wasn't bothering me. I was feeling frisky. And I had a choice of either going with a 205 pacer or the 210 pacer. Now the smart play would have been go out with a 210 pacer, do the first half of the race with 210 pacer, and then as you feel good, you pick it up and you leave the pace group behind in the second half of the race. I didn't do that, obviously. I went with a 205 pacer and I told myself, look, I'll just settle into the pain. I have fitness, I should be able to do it, I'll settle in. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, I'm terrible at settling into the pain. I told myself, oh, I'll just grind it out. But I don't grind it out. That's not what I'm not a grinder. I'm not a grind it out guy. It's not what I do. I allowed myself to be influenced a bit by how good I was feeling on race morning versus all of the knowledge I'd picked up throughout my training about myself. So there you go. I know this isn't as slick and fancy as my usual videos, but I just wanted to come out and just talk to you guys and thank you guys for following the journey and just tell you, where I am, where my head is, what I'm thinking, and what I've learned. Because I think a big part of running any race is learning, right? We do this running thing, and look, we're not professionals. We're not getting paid to do this. I go out, I do it for fun, I enjoy it. I think getting better at it involves being reflective and figuring out where you screw up. And, there it is. Anyway, thanks so much for watching again, guys, and I'll see you soon.